Welcome back to Speedromizer 6. We are currently getting ready to see Little Witch Nobeta by Eveldee. They will be running the 80%, no major glitches, the advanced difficulty. And again, I would just like to remind everyone that we are supporting community. If you would like to donate, you can visit our Tiltify campaign at speedromizer.live/donate. You can also find the donate link below the stream or by typing !donate into the chat. All of your donations are sent directly to the community. And when you are donating, don't forget to put money towards our active challenges and polls. We have many active incentives going on throughout the event, all of which you can view on Tiltify. Currently, I would say the most prominent one is we have a Minecraft Bedrock Edition bonus run, blindfolded any percent, for next week. That is currently setting 40 Canadian dollars behind of its goal. We also have an incentive that will be for tomorrow, which is for Rebel Transmute, get a pet armadillipede. If you would like to see a pet armadillipede during that run, we are missing 75 Canadian dollars. Additionally, I would like to shout out all of the amazing volunteers that work behind the scenes, including myself, of course, patting myself on the back, but not too hard. If you would like to volunteer, we have hosts, there are stream tech, there's audio tech, there are a variety of ways that you can help support the event if that seems interesting to you. And many of these will not require any prior experience. So if you would like to show up, learn some of the behind the scenes, and help out, please feel free. Before the event, there will be sign-up applications for volunteers. So if you're interested in that, be sure to join our Discord. And you can find that link at speedromizer.live/Discord. All right, and our runner is ready. So Little Witch Nobeta coming up. Eveldee, the stage is yours.
Hello! I'm the speedrunner that is going to showcase you Little Witch Nobeta in the any percent no major glitch category, which we abbreviate to NMG, and I'm going to play in the hardest difficulty, which is advanced. So I'm not the runner that learned the game, actually the teacher, because unfortunately the runner couldn't make it, so this run will mostly show the best route possible and all the optimal takes. And still, to honor the player that learned the run, I'm going to try to use a few takes that the learner found when learning this route, which are really cool. So I'm going to try to do them too. And you will see that this game is quite particular because it's a Dark Souls-like game, but it's not like Elden Ring or things when you use a sword. No, the main character is a witch, which is named Nobeta, and we're going to use magics. there are 4 different types of magic, and I will be able to explain them later on. So it kinda combines a bit of combat phases and a lot of platforming too. So this makes this run really interesting, with a lot of different things to showcase. So, alright, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, I can give you a countdown. Going in 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
And good luck.
Thanks. So this game starts on 2 cutscenes to skip, so that's what we're going to start to do. And the first level is quite straightforward. We're just going to do a lot of platforming phases for around 3 minutes and then go to the first boss. One thing that is really important to notice in this game is that there are 3 different bars when you look at the top of the screen. The yellow one is our stamina, the green one is our HP, which is not really that important, and the blue one is mana. So both mana and stamina are really important. Stamina is what is going to be really important for the platforming phases because we want to optimize it. And as you may have already noticed, what I'm doing is I'm jumping and doing melee attacks in the air to like go a bit further and just save as much stamina as possible. Because if you run out of stamina and try to run, Nobeta will trip. We will use this trip animation to trigger some cutscenes, but that's all. And the blue bar, which is mana, is going to be really important for the fights. In the hardest difficulty of this game, this bar like depletes really fast. And there are not a lot of different ways to regenerate, so managing your mana is really important during the boss fights. So here we're going to use charge arcans. So there are 4 different types of magic. The first one, which I'm using right now, is arcane. And for each magic, you have the choice to either shoot normal attacks, like this, or charge attacks. Like, to charge attack, you just press a button, and if you accumulate enough mana, it will shoot a charge attack. And each different type of magic have a different charge attack and different specificities. For example, ice can give Nobeta a shield that will be really useful later on. So here we are going to save the cat, which is an NPC that you can see here, that is going to follow us for the whole journey to the throne. And he's quite grumpy, I would say, in the sense that he's always telling Nobeta, go ahead, and he never lets her do what she wants. So here I'm going to do a bit more platforming section, and we're going to get to the first boss. The first boss is not really hard, and we are not going to use a lot of mechanics that we use later on. It's just a question of using charge arcane attacks, and we're just going to kill him. So here I'm going to use what I said earlier with the fact that we're going to trip to try to trigger the cutscene. So here I just trip, and when you're no stamina and you trip, you're pushed like forward, and it's a bit faster than just running. It's kind of funny tech. Like you're optimizing like 0.1 second, but you know what? We're still doing it. So this fight is quite straightforward. We just stagger him using charge attacks, and in between the charge attacks we use normal attacks to kill him. There's a bit of RNG involved because depending on which attack you use at first, it can change the fight, but there's not a lot of differences. It takes 3 seconds or something. So at the end of most fights, I will be running towards a wall like this. If you're wondering why, it's because I want to cancel, like to skip the cutscene as fast as possible, and the cutscene always triggers when the wall disappears. So I know that when I see Nobeta moving, I can just press the button to skip cutscenes. So here we're using something that's really specific to Nobeta, is that when we play this game, usually we play with load remover times, so that means we do not count the load times. So there are a lot of places where we just return to the statue to like teleport just a bit before, and that's saving some time. Like when using RTA, I don't think it saves a lot of time, but in-game time that's really important. And we're going to use it again a bit later. So now we are going to get the Arcane level 2, so we're going to upgrade our Arcane magic and get a new magic too. We're going to get Ice magic, which will be our main DPS dealing magic against the 2 next bosses. So here we got Arcane level 2 and now we are going to Ice. Bit of a real trick to get the chest faster. And we have Ice level 1. So Ice is really nice because it has low mana usage and shots really fast. And the charge attacks allows us to lock targets and deal a ton of damage on them. So we're going to use it for the next bosses. So as you can see, it's like if Arcane is a semi-auto, Ice is a full auto. That's the thing. Alright, so here we're charging Ice to do kind of a small puzzle where we need to break all the stones at the same time. Usually you should lock on the 3 of them, but we just locked 2 and put the last one. And we got Absorption. Absorption is going to be the most important magic in this run because it allows us to do literally counters. So how counters work in this game is that when you get attacked, so Nobeta takes damage, if before this attack you press the melee attack key, for 150 milliseconds you will be in counter state. And if you take damage during this counter state, it will nullify the damage and gives you ton of mana and HP. And we will need to do a lot of counters to get enough mana to kill the bosses. So countering all attacks is what will allow us to regenerate mana in advanced difficulty. You can also evade instead of using counters, but the thing is that evade generates way less mana. So here we are going to jump over a barrier. That's kinda a really neat trick because usually you should kill the 2 enemies at the bottom and then you can go. But here we just jump over it using quite a precise platforming technique. There's a bit of lore about this barrier skip in the fact that in the 2 last world records in this game, the barrier skip has been failed. So it's kinda my nemesis trick. But since there was a runner that showed me a really nice deck for this one. This is the one I use when I go on the right, and I think I didn't miss it at all since then. But you know, that's why it's always nice to have new runners to teach you things. Even if you have a world record or something, you still have always things to learn. You can never know everything. So here I got quite a nice RNG, I would say. And Tanya, she's going phase 2 now. So Tanya is a boss fight where if you're really unlucky you will be starved for mana. Here I got nice patterns actually. Okay, I'm going to just dodge this because I do not want to charge. Okay. And here I use a tech for a really small moment, which is quick swap, which allows us to fire 2 different magics at the same time because each magic type have an independent cooldown. So I can fire Ice, swap to Arcane and swap to Ice again. It's a very nice trick. Unfortunately we are not using it a lot in this category, just more for fun than anything. But in the New Game Plus categories we use this a ton to swap between fire and thunder. So now we're in the 3rd level of the game, Lava Ruins. This level is the most stressful one because, as the name implies, there are lava. And if you fall into lava, you just die instantly. Also, at this statue is the only statue where we're going to upgrade other stats than intelligence. So I take a bit of mana, which just increases my mana bar. I take some stamina, which allows me to have more stamina. I increase strength, which will allow me to break the small stone pillars, which will be really useful for the end of the game. And intelligence in the main stat that we're going to upgrade, which just increase our damage in general. So that's why after this, we're just going to increase intelligence every time we go to a statue to exchange our souls. So it's like kind of a Dark Souls game where you have some stats. Okay, this enemy is really high up. That doesn't happen a lot. So for lava winds we're going to also unlock the third magic, which is fire magic. It has kind of a really high mana usage, so we are not going to use it a lot, but there are moments where it's really useful. So we're going to kill this big doll if she wants to die. Apparently not. Alright. And now we're going to run to fire. So before going to the chest that contains fire magic, we're going to do a small trick where we're supposed to take fire, then climb up the stairs and trigger something that will spawn a pillar that we need to break. But we're going to do it in reverse. We're going to go up first and use the trigger. So here we're going to trigger this. So the pillar is spawning, and while it's spawning we're going to take fire. So it saves a bit of time. So as you can see, I use fire here to kill the enemy in one hit. It works in close range, but if you're far away from the enemy, it nearly never do enough damage. So you really need to be close to them to kill them with fire. But you can instantly kill most enemies using this tech. So now that we have fire magic and that we broke the crystal, we're just going to run to the boss of this stage, which is Monica. And the boss of this stage has particularity is that she's in two phases. So we're going to fight a big bear and then Monica. But before that we need to do what we used to call the roller coaster or the crystal ride in the community, which is a kind of a side-scroller platforming section. You don't really do anything, just you kill enemies and the crystal goes forward. But we're going to jump off of it before the end. We're not going to wait the full duration. So here I regenerate my stamina and then we go. This part is really scary in the sense that if you miss your jump or you get hit and stagger, you just fall off. And the thing is that in lava ruins, we do not take any statue before the last one. So if I die here, that means I need to do the full route again. Like we go back to the beginning of this level. But fortunately enough, I did not die. And we will get to Monica. Firstly, we're going to upgrade the intelligence a bit and take as many purple crystals as I need. So purple crystals are really useful in this run because they will allow us to regenerate mana. And mana is, as you understood, is our main resources. So purple crystals are kinda the carrying element of this run. Whenever we can use them, we do. So first phase, we're going to fight the bear. This enemy, in my opinion, is the hardest. Like, this is the hardest boss in this game because you can die really fast. Because we never upgrade HP in this run, and they start to deal a ton of damage, and since we're grazing a lot by trying to counter all the attacks, it's really fast to die. Like, any attack you hit Nobeta, so yeah. It's really scary boss. Alright. We're getting those counters perfectly so far. And she killed herself. Nice. So I'm breaking those jars to spawn some mana, which I will use for the second phase, which is Monica. So this second phase has no RNG at all. It's always the same patterns, which is quite nice after all the RNG dependent bosses we just did. And it's just a question of attacking Monica and getting her HP bar to 0. Like, in this fight you can basically do the same thing every time, it just works. Oh, I got this counter. Okay, I got enough mana but I did not get the counter. That's fine, I'm just going to save it. Alright. Also, when after staggering her like that, you really need to aim at her foot, because otherwise she does not take damage for some reason. Oh, yeah. Don't ask me why, I'm not really sure myself. Just something we discovered when playing this game. And she should die. Perfect. So, third boss is dead, and now we have a bit of walking to do before getting to Dark Tunnel, which will be the next level. And this is not the hardest one, but it, as the name implies, it's kinda dark, so when you do it casually and not when speedrunning, you can get lost in Dark Tunnels so easily. I remember the first time I played this game, I could not understand where I was going. That's kinda crazy. Especially when you're trying to do like 100% and getting every collectibles and chests is such a mess to find them. So we get to take this teleporter that leads us to the beginning of Lava Wind, and we're going to open this to get to the next door, which leads to Dark Tunnel. If I'm good, I can get in front of the cat. Let's see, will the cat block me? And he is blocking me. Obviously. I would say it's 50-50, like half the time I get in front of it, sometimes not. Doesn't change much, it's still funny to get in front. So here we're going to do one of the most impressive platforming section. Like that's what we call the hard skip. And you can see when I do that it's not intended at all. Like, you're not supposed to go here, but we still do. And that allows us to skip a section that is quite long otherwise, and we need to get the hat back, which is just here. And we got it. That's nice. That was the hardest hat skip version, which is like the third iteration of this skip, which I usually call the hat skip, so people just know which one I'm talking about in the community. Procedure. And there is actually a new tech with the hat skip that Mookie found that I still do not really know how to do, never tried it, but if you die when taking the hat, you can skip the cutscene completely, and apparently it saves 2 seconds or something. It's really hard to perform, and I did not try it here. So now that we got the hat back, we need to get Thunder Magic, which is the first magic in the game, and we will need it to do a trial that is just up ahead, and also to do all the following boss fights. We will always be using Thunder Magic because it's so OP compared to the other ones. Like, the charge attacks deal so much damage, and since we have purple crystals to regenerate mana fast, we can abuse purple crystals with Thunder to just obliterate the bosses. And we get Thunder here. So same as at the beginning, we're doing a return to statue, so we don't have to go back all the way, and we just get back here to the statue we used, and we can do the small Thunder puzzle, which requires us to break the 3 crystals at the same time, and to do that we use the specificity of Thunder, which slows down the time when we charge. So as you can see, when Thunder was charged, the time was slowed down for everything aside from Nobeta, and that allows us to do a few puzzles when you need to break multiple stones at the same time. So in Dark Tunnel, we also start to see those enemies, which we call the snipers. They were way more annoying in the first version of the game because we did not have this line that indicates us where they are going to shoot. So they could shoot at any time and you will never know it. You just have the sound cue but not the visual one. So it was really hard to dodge. Nowadays, if you know where they are, it's not that hard to dodge. They can still surprise you, but it doesn't really happen a lot. Alright, we have a triple cutscene, and we're going to enter the castle where the throne is. And in this castle there is the next boss, which is Vanessa. Since I'm here, I can explain something really nice about this game that people might not know, but it's about the voice actors. So Nobeta has a professional Japanese voice actor, but the 3 first bosses, if I do not count the armor, they went to take Hololive VTubers. So Vanessa, the next boss, is made by Noel, Tanya by Polka, and Monica was Fubuki. So for those that know Hololive and their VTubers, it's a really nice factor with this game. Where they got some VTubers to the voice acting of the bosses. I find this really cool and quite different from what we used to. So Vanessa, this fight is quite straightforward, except when she doesn't want it to be. So we're going to pray that she's kind to us. And I nearly killed myself here, because yes, in this game, if you run into your own magic, you can do self-damage. Okay, I'm going to grid this one. Yeah, it was a bad idea. But that's what I mean when I say if she's mean to us or kind, and here she's really mean to us. She doesn't want to attack. See, when she does that, I really like this. And she did twice. That's okay, we're going to lose a bit of time here. Alright, should die here. Nice backup. But yeah, so the thing with Vanessa is that you want to cast thunder attacks, but to do that first you need to wait for her to attack. And the pattern is always that she will dash a few times, then stop and attack. And she always dash to try to get close to you. But sometimes, if she's too close to you, she will do the attack where she dash backwards. And like she can do it, usually she do it when you get too close to her, but since she is dashing towards you, sometimes she can trigger it herself. And that's really annoying. Here she did twice, but really unlucky, but we got a good backup with a dodge to get this thunder attack. So now Spirit Realm, a few things change. First, this is the first with natural lights, so we are not indoors anymore. Really cool lightning. And a few movements change, like the melee attacks and the evade pattern change. To understand that, you need to really play this game and reach the end, where they reveal a big fact about this game, where actually you're not playing the character you think you're playing. It's funny because even people that play this game to the end do not always understand this. But if you ever get the chance to play this game, you may understand why there's a difference between the first part of the game and this one, starting Spirit Realm. So in this level there are two bosses, and the first one is in two phases. And she's actually really hard to, with quite a huge dependence on RNG, on which attack she does. So we're going to hope that we have good RNG too. So we got intelligence level 19, which is what we will use till the end of the game, so we are not going to upgrade intelligence anymore. That's everything we need for the latest route. And we have a small platforming session to get the next Thunder upgrade, so we are going to have Thunder level 2, and the boss will give us a level 3. So now that we have Thunder level 2, we are just going to do a small trick where we go below the usual route and to reach Seal, which is the next boss. So this boss can do whatever she wants. Like, sometimes she's manageable and most of the time she's not. So here, for example, she decided to go there before attacking. So I'm already losing a bit of time because I need to go all the way. And then we're going to see what she does. Is she going to me? Yeah, she's going towards me. So far, she's not that annoying. I'm going to lack a bit of mana, so I'm going to break this. It's the last charge attack she's doing here. Yeah. Alright! Quite a nice seal fight actually. It was not that annoying. I lost a bit of time because she decided to go across the whole map, but that's actually a very nice seal fight. So now we're going to fight against Seal again. And this fight is really particular because we're going to do both a boss fight and a platforming trick at the same time. So it's really tricky segment in this run, but hopefully I will get it right. And just after this fight, there is a trick that Mookie, a new reader of the game, found like yesterday or something. So I'm going to try to do it. We're going to see how it ends. So I need to cast under here, and do this skip. So this skip was found by me. Please, thanks. Okay, she dies perfectly. And now we're going to try to do Mookie's trick. I can get it right. So we're trying to reach this thing. Alright, perfect. That was really nice. So we abuse the fact that casting an attack, like when you're casting an attack, you lingers in the air. So we are abusing this fact to gain another double jump. So the thing with double jumping this game is that it has a cooldown. So if you wait enough while in the air, you can double jump again. So that's why I casted Thunder. And I did not hit the fire attack. That's really bad. And I died here. Alright. We're going to have a small platforming section to redo. So the thing with dying this game is that it's really punishing in the sense that there's not a lot of checkpoints. Because checkpoints are basically the statues. So whenever you use a statue, it's like saving the game and having a checkpoint. So whatever you do between all the statues, you need to redo it again. So here we just have to redo the path towards Seal. I'm going to go below because it's a bit faster, since I already took Thunder and I do not need to take it again. But fortunately enough, we are not going to have to fight Seal again. Like whenever you kill a boss in this game, there's like a flag that is saved that tells the game that you already beat it. So we're not going to have to fight Seal again. We can just go here and there's no cutscene or anything. And you will be able to see that when killing Seal, the small structure I jumped onto is not here anymore. And that's why you need to kill the second phase of Seal at the same time as you jump over the barrier. Because you can't skip the barrier if you kill Seal before. Because you can see here there's no structure anymore, so I cannot jump off of it. So that's why the trick just before is really tricky. Here I'm using a fastest version of this trick, which I think... oh, I got. So this is the fastest version of this trick where you're not using charged thunder attack. It's really hard to do, and honestly I would not recommend doing it in run. But here, since I had to go back and I already used a safe strat, just doing this. Alright, so here I need to charge fire to get through the pillar I did not break just before. I'm just going to get some mana, and there's this enemy too. Alright, I'm going to do it safe. So there is a purple dude, but the purple dude should not be trying to hit us when we're up above. We can just run it like that. Alright. And then we can break this. So that was the whole thing I was trying to do. Yeah, I'm doing the safe way because I have no HP anymore. And then we're going down to take the teleporter. So yeah, those two enemies, the blue one and the purple one, can be quite annoying when you try to do this. So after taking this teleporter, we're going to run towards the next statue to get some purple crystals for the next boss fight. So we're using a small trick where we jump here. We'll just keep a small section and break this secret wall. And the next statue is just there. It's a really chill platforming section. It's just a question of, you know, managing your stamina and knowing when to start running again after recovering. You just get used to it. So we are not going to upgrade intelligence because 19 is enough to kill all the bosses in this game. We're just going to take some purple crystals. So this boss fight is quite easy if you do the safe strat, because there's not a lot of RNG. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cancel her attacks. So you see, she's going to attack, but I'm going to cancel her. So she's actually never attacking when doing this strat. So that's quite nice. There's still a bit of RNG involved because sometimes she takes more time to attack, so it can be a bit slower. But at least you do not have to counter anything. So this is a really nice fight. And after, this is the second time we fight against Vanessa, and now we're going to get into Abyss, which is the last level of the game. And in this level we're just going to have to do 3 trials, and then we're going to get to the end of the game. So I'm going to use another strat that was found by Moki just yesterday, where instead of going down, I'm just going to return to the statue, and that teleports us down directly. So in RTA that doesn't really save any time, but in load remover that's really nice trick. So here we're just going to get some mana to charge Thunder and use this teleporter that's just red. So why we're charging Thunder is because if we do not, there's a chance that the enemies cancel us while taking the teleporter. So for example this projectile. So we charge Thunder so the time is slowed down and we have the time to take this teleporter instantly without killing the enemies. So now we're going to do another small platforming trick where we jump over another barrier to escape this prison. So I intentionally trigger the alert here because this room is usually really dark. But if you trigger the alert, everything is red like this and it's way easier to see where you go. So we're going to take this teleporter, which will lead us to kind of a hub that will give us access to the 3 trials to do before being able to access the last boss. So I will do them from right to left, but they can be done in any order and it doesn't really change anything for the run, it's just my preference. And all those trials are really nice in the sense that they reuse areas of the game that we visited previously, and they add mechanics to it and a few changes. So for example, this one we will be in lava ruins. It's really hard to recognize the places that are used, but those are all things we saw in the game before. If you look really closely, you may recognize this. But when you do not know it, it's hard to know because, for example, it's really dark here, whereas it's not supposed to be that dark. And they added, for example, lava and things like this. So we're going to charge Thunder. That will allow us to kill 2 enemies. That unlocks the end of the trial. So here we just kill those 2 and it opens here. So this is the first trial done. And all those purple crystals, we will use them for the second trial, because there is an enemy that can dodge any attack. And to kill her, we're just going to shoot at ourselves. That will work because we're going to get Thunder level 4 in this trial, and starting level 4 Thunder does not inflict self-damage anymore. So that's a really nice way to kill the next enemy. That can be really, really annoying. So we're going to charge Thunder to try to pass before a ball that rolls down the stairs. So here you can see it here. If you try to climb the stairs without slowing down time, you will hit. So we just use the fact that Thunder slows down everything to pass before that. Very nice trick, saved a few seconds. So we're going to charge Thunder again to kill this enemy. So we just shoot at her feet and it just works. It's very nice tech. She gets permanent, she gets full staggered so she cannot move at all. just in case I always shoot fire once, because she can still have, for example, like 10 HP, because the damage are kind of random in this game. So just in case. Here she was already dead, but sometimes it happens that it's not the case. So we're done with the second trial, and we're going to go to the third one, which is the last trial in the game, and which will give us access to the last area, where we're going to fight Nobeta. So this trial is quite straightforward. We're just going to run towards the barrier and go through it. We do not need to feel the condition, because usually you're supposed to kill 3 stone dolls that are really tanky. But we're not going to do that. There is a way to just keep the barrier, and that saves a ton of time. Like when Michael found this trick, it was so nice, because those dolls that are below are really long to kill and you can only use melee attacks. But using this trick you can just go through this barrier directly. You do not need to kill them. So you just go up here, and when you fall down like this, you just go through it. It's as simple as that. So this is it for the third trial, and now, before going to the last boss, we're going to do a small cutscene trick, where I'm going to use a statue before a cutscene triggers, so I can buy crystals during the cutscene. That saves a tiny bit of time, not a lot, but I think like something like 3 seconds, instead of taking the teleporter, skipping the cutscene, going down, and doing everything. Here we're just going to use the statue, and here's the cutscene trigger, but we still have the statue shop, so we can just buy those crystals, return to the statue during the cutscene, and just get teleported back. It's a really strange trick, but it works fine, and saves a few seconds. And we use this cutscene abuse with Thunder a lot in the other categories. In this one, this is the only place where we use this. So now we're going to fight the last boss in the game, which is Nobeta. We're just going to use a bunch of charged Thunder attacks to stagger continuously, and time will be when her HP drops to 0. So it's coming up really soon, if I do not miss. So usually Nobeta has 2 phases, but we're going to try to skip the second phase. Okay, she got staggered perfectly. Now we just need to push charge Thunder into normal Thunder, and if we do not miss any, we'll die here. And last one, and oh, I missed it. Oh, she died time. Wow, that was really close. I missed the Thunder, so she nearly survived, and we nearly got the second phase. Nice, nice backup. But this time, that was actually quite a nice run. There was a death at Seal, like just after post-Seal too. It was a really nice run otherwise. Got really bad RNG from both bosses, but we got the backups. So this is the showcase of the any % no major glitch category of Little Witch Nobeta, and to me it's really my preferred category because it can showcase everything. You see a lot of platforming tricks, there are the combat phases with a lot of tight counters, and meanwhile when you're playing like out of bounds categories, we just keep most of the bosses by using some techs that allows us to kill them really fast. So it's really less interesting in my opinion, but this category is really nice to learn and even to try. If you're really interested by this game, you should join the speedrun Discord for it. It's a really good one. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to show for this run.
And thank you for the excellent run. We do have a little bit of time. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share, or any additional shout outs? I know you mentioned the Discord if you would like to learn the run. Yeah, I really want to thank the whole Little Witch Nobeta speedrun community that got me into this game, because Little Witch Nobeta is actually the first game I ever speedrun. I didn't do any speedrun before, and they were really welcoming, especially Shengon, Michael, Zero, Moki. They are really nice runners and taught me everything I needed to know when I started speedrunning this game. So they are really kind and
Really thanks to them. They really got me into this.
All right, thank you so much, Eveldee, for your run, and we will be transitioning to a short break and getting ready for the Toho replay showcase.
Right. And of course you will see me again in a week for Nicktoons, which will be a game I'm not that good at. It's going to be a nice run too, I think. Bye bye!